Hi, everybody. Angel here. Hope you guys are doing great wherever you are in the world. And I'm super excited today to speak with Kathy. And we will be talking about her cookbooks and hi, Tom. Hi, Janine. Hi, everybody. Hi there. Awesome. Thanks for joining. We'll get started very soon. And excited to speak with Kathy today. Lots of cool information about cooking plant-based. Hi
Hello,
there.
hello. How are
How
you?
fine, how are you?
I am wonderful.
Awesome. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time. I know everybody's super busy.
Yes, I appreciate you having me. Hello to everybody watching. I'm just excited to share all of this with you.
Awesome, awesome. So I will be playing with filters, so you will see some filters here and there.
How do I
And
do that?
there's a little smiley face, and then you can choose different filters on your screen somewhere. You're a quick learner.
I
Is this
found it.
I love it. I love it.
This is great.
That is so cool. Awesome. So I just want to say hi to everybody who's joining, either live or on the replay. Please put your questions and comments down below for Kathy, and she'll be happy to answer. And while we wait for questions and comments, let's just get right into it, Kathy, because we have quite a few topics to cover. And I did pin our topics on the bottom just to keep me a little bit on track. So here we go. We're going to jump right in. So, Kathy, would you please share with us how you started your vegan journey way back when, and then how you got to where you are today? Thank
A-
you.
Absolutely. So, y'all, my name's Kathy Davis. I'm a plant-based lifestyle coach and the author of several whole food plant-based cookbooks. So, my vegan journey really started about 7 years ago. My husband, kind of initiated the idea that we would eat more plants, and we started eating more plants, more plant-based recipes. And after about, I would say, 3 to 6 months, we really started eating primarily plant-based. And the more we ate that was plant based, the more plant centered our meals became, the more we realized we really didn't need animal products anymore. And then once you learn that, you start to kind of explore plant based or, animal agriculture and dairy industry and things like that. And once you know, you just don't unknow. So that journey really, it was baby steps. I didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to go vegan tomorrow or I'm going to go vegan today. It was really a lot of information and a lot of, trial and error of the recipes and just finding the things that I liked that satisfied my palate. So thank you
I
so
love
much. I'm
that.
so excited.
I love that. And hats off, kudos, and bravo to your husband for starting the journey and for you joining him on that journey. And look where you are today. I mean, this is awesome. And
Yes.
I think that brings us to our next topic, which is what inspired you to write your cookbooks?
Yeah. So we went vegan about 7 years ago, and about 6 months later, I realized that we were taking all of these, favorites of ours and making them vegan. And I needed to share those recipes with people. The recipes were so good, and I really wanted to make sure that I could get them out. So I started veginspired.com, which is my food blog. And I had recipes and lifestyle tips. And really, the goal behind it was to inspire others to eat more plants. I am an ethical vegan first, but I know that my journey didn't start as an ethical vegan. And so I want to make sure that people, really dig into that, inspiration that they have to add more plants to their diet. So I'd always wanted to write a cookbook. And I knew that our recipes were delicious. And to be perfectly honest, my first cookbook, which is the 30-minute whole food plant-based cookbook, writing that changed my life because
Wow.
it it showed me that I could do anything I really put my mind to, right? And it was the catalyst to the confidence that I needed to really, put my recipes out there beyond a food blog. And, I encourage anyone watching live or on the replay, if you have a dream in your heart, take those steps every day to inch closer to realizing that dream, because when you hit it, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Kathy, I'm getting goosebumps, and I think that that is the subject of even an entire book series from you, because I can really relate. I mean, on so many levels to what you're saying, and I'm sure other people can too. Our self doubt and self worth limitations, just keep us from doing what we really want to do. So I am just like blown away that you brought this up like right out the gate.
Yeah, and it's writing the cookbook wasn't the first time I really followed my dreams. For those of you that don't know, my husband and I actually sold our house and we traveled the country full time in an RV with our 3 cats. So if you do see my cat in the video or hear a little bit of background noise, it's a small living over here. But it really is about taking that next step every day and believing that you can do it. And, we we're talking about these cookbooks and we're talking about, following your dream. I now have 2 authored cookbooks. Like I have 2 cookbooks that have my name on it and my recipes that are published to the world. Like that is such a big achievement. And it really is about, oh, there's the cat, following
Hi
your
there.
your
Hi there.
dreams.
No, no. Again, I'm getting chills, and I'm so glad you dug a little bit deeper into that, because the reason I wanted to speak with you and share with everyone else is because a lot of people, I'm obsessed with Instagram lives and all kinds of live events, and I watch the chat section a lot, and so many people say how they are just at a loss for where to start, what to eat. They don't know what to cook. That do you have any recipes? And I thought, I saw Kathy. Let me ask her if she'll come and talk, because it seems simple for some of us. Some people are creative, other people are not so creative, and so that's why we have each other. And I just love that you took that bold step to create these cookbooks, and to share them with the world. So on that note, please share with us, or give us a little description of your cookbooks individually. Thank you.
Sure. So I brought them as props. So this one, the 30-minute whole food plant-based cookbook, is over 100 recipes, everything from breakfasts to desserts. They're all oil-free, they're all salt-free, and they're all refined sugar-free. So we sweeten with things like dates, maple syrup, raisins, items like that, versus traditional cane sugars.
And they're so yummy anyway. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Oh,
And so I just wanted to say, so some of my favorites in there are the chickpea country gravy in the breakfast section, served over an English muffin. It's like, takes me right back to the days that I spent in Charlotte as living in Charlotte, eating those Southern breakfasts. And then there's also an enchiladas recipe and broccoli mushroom stir fry. And then there's even a tasty whole food plant-based tiramisu.
oh my
It's
gosh.
so good. It's mind-blowingly good. So, yeah, so that cookbook, the 30-minute whole food plant-based cookbook, is currently available as an ebook or a print book on Amazon. And then the second book, which
Yes.
is the super easy plant-based cookbook, and I know it's a little backwards, but
And yeah, everything is back. Yeah, yeah.
it's just the way it goes. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
cookbook is really exciting because it takes the overwhelm and the stress out, right? There's over 100 recipes again. All are oil free, and they fit into one of 4 categories. They are either a no cook recipe, meaning it doesn't need to be cooked. And I really work to make those no cook recipes as hearty and satiating as possible. So it's not a no cook recipe that's like, you know, 4 pieces of iceberg lettuce. Like it's a, you know, a hearty recipe that you could eat as a meal. Or they're 5 ingredients. So super easy. You can even use, sorry. You could even use, oh, no, I'm lost. Homemade or store-bought ingredients for the recipes to make them even easier. And then there's a whole 30-minute section, all new recipes. So they're exclusive to this cookbook. It's not no duplicates from the first one. Those are 30 minutes and then one pot. And honestly, the
Oh, I
one pot
love that.
recipes were my favorite to write because I live in a small space. So using only one pot required less cleanup, less mess. It was awesome. So I really put a lot of effort into those recipes.
I love that. And you know, I love that you use the approach of veganizing your favorites. And I think that that's something that a lot of people recommend as well. For, you know, for newbies, when you're trying to like, you know, we're trying to wean ourselves off of what we're used to, right? So I know I started off as what people might consider a junk food vegan. So I ate lots of vegan burgers and French fries and, you know, if it if it said vegan, I was like, yeah, I'll have one of those, please. You know, it was labeled vegan, and I ate a lot of like, you know, breads and things like that. You know, pastries, cookies, and all that. Anything that was just like replicating whatever I was used to eating, but it just was vegan. And so, I can definitely see why, you know, taking that approach of your favorites, and of course people's favorites are regional, cultural, etc. So there's that whole, you know, dynamic to it as well. But I super love that. And then I applaud you for like breaking your second book into 4 categories so people know exactly, you know, if tonight they feel like, you know what, I just want like a 5 ingredient recipe tonight, you know, I don't want to have to pull out my whole spice rack tonight, right? So, you know, that's awesome.
Exactly. And I always tell people, you know, those 5 ingredient recipes, keep those ingredients on hand for those nights that you want things to be simple, right? Like, you know, we made one last night, the 5 ingredient barbecue sweet potato, and it's sweet potatoes, broccoli, chickpeas. You roast all of those, and then you drizzle on some warmed barbecue sauce. And it's so good, so easy, and all of those things could easily be on hand in your kitchen every week.
Totally. And like for example, like you know, barbecue sauce is like typical on the standard diet, right? And so, you know, if you have those kinds of memories and those kinds of associations and you know, cravings and flavors and all of that, then it's just awesome, you know, to have that option as well.
Yes, for
And
sure. And that's the thing. And not every barbecue sauce is vegan. Some use honey, some use odd flavors. So
yes,
always
yes.
check. Um, because we travel full time in an RV, we're never at the same grocery store twice. So sometimes we're like, ooh, like Publix, their uh their organic brand that I'm not think coming up with the name right now, something green. Anyway, their organic Publix brand has a delicious plant-based barbecue sauce. It's so awesome. And then Whole Foods labels theirs vegan, so they're really easy to figure out if you have to read those ingredients.
Totally, totally. And by the way, I have caught some of your traveling in your stories, and the landscapes are very pretty. I mean, it's like, wow.
Yes.
Are they just on vacation or what? You know, what's going on here?
We've made a life we don't need a vacation from. I'm tuning in live
Amazing.
right now from Sedona, Arizona. Yesterday we explored Sedona via ATVs, and it really is a lifestyle I don't need a vacation from. And now we're both, my husband and I both work from the RV. So we're working our day jobs and then we'll explore a little bit later.
That is so awesome. I just want to say hi to everyone who's joining live and on the replay. Please put your questions and comments down below for Kathy, and she'll be happy to answer. And we have here My Vegan Life NYC, traveling in a van, vegan style too. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that's awesome. We'll definitely have to connect. That's so fun.
Awesome, awesome. All right. I have to look you up there, My Vegan Life NYC. Okay, cool. So we've covered your cookbooks. Now, please tell us, what do you find are some of the challenges that people face on a plant-based diet or with their plant-based cooking? What are some of the challenges that you have heard of?
Yeah, so I work with clients every day, and some of the big challenges that I find is a lot of people know what to eat, right? Like they know I'm not supposed to eat animal products, or if I'm going to eat plant-based, I just need to eat more plants. But where it really comes down to the struggle and the obstacle is how to prepare it, how to add variety, like how to really keep things interesting. And I always tell people, keep it super simple and add variety from the foods you already love, right? If you love sweet potatoes, let's put a sweet potato curry on the menu. Let's bake sweet potatoes into wedges and use that as a taco filling. Let's do that barbecue sweet potato bowl that I was talking about earlier. Let's cook up that sweet potato for breakfast and add some like nuts and fruits and cinnamon and maybe a little tahini. Like if you love sweet potatoes, let's eat more of what you love rather than trying to do the one-to-one replacements and, trying vegan cheese on its own can be both an expensive, an overwhelming, and a very frustrating task, right? Because there's so many vegan cheeses on the market now. And, really digging into what you really like. You don't love vegan cheese yet because you haven't had it. So let's eat more of the foods that we love, right? If you love pasta, maybe you do a pasta with red sauce, and then maybe a pasta with lots of veggies and maybe a creamy cashew buttery sauce. And then maybe you do brown rice noodles with, an Asian flair with some teriyaki flavors or lo mein. So really kind of play into those foods you love, add lots of veggies, and just level up those plants.
I love that advice because, it's not like you say, it still keeps them in their comfort zone. They're still used to these foods, but they're just expanding the options and the variety. And then it's not so much, to me, I look at this whole lifestyle as abundance and not scarcity. I look at it more as like adding and not taking away. And I know some people come into it and think, oh my gosh, I'm giving up so much. Oh, everything's being taken away from me, everything that I'm used to. But your approach solves all of that.
Right. And it really is about adding. I mean, I have eaten more foods that are plant centered, right? Like I never ate beets. I never ate beans before I was vegan. Like I've expanded my horizons both on the foods that I'm eating, the ingredients, plus the flavors. I mean, I learned about new spices. I learned about new culinary, cooking. I mean, it really allowed me to level up my eating. And a lot of those meals are so easy. Fried rice, stir fries. I mean, those can be ready in 15 minutes.
Totally, totally. No, I also discovered some new plant foods that I hadn't tried before. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've just been eating the same stuff all the time. So, and then I love like every season I challenge myself to buy something different when I go grocery shopping so that I'm not like just rotating the same produce, but I just add something new that I haven't tried before. Like I was saying the other day, I bought celeriac for the first time the other day. I'd eaten them in restaurants, but I never cooked myself or fixed myself actually. And I didn't even cook it. I just kind of peeled it and popped it in a big smoothie with lots of other ingredients. But, to cover up and, just to cover up that celeriac taste. But you get the nutrients. And I really like
Right.
that. And I have nothing against celeriac. It's not the most beautiful vegetable. It has all these little things on it. But, it's just an example. Like I had never bought a celeriac root before.
Right. I love that. And challenging yourself to try new fruits. We think a lot of times just trying the new vegetables, but you can try new fruits. You can try a new grain. So one grain that I really like and is used throughout the cookbook is farro, however
Oh, I
you pronounce
love
it.
that. Yes.
And we use it in place of pasta. So we actually have
Yes.
a farro salad, which is like a pasta salad in the cookbook. And it really is so delicious. But trying a
Mm.
new vegetable, trying a new fruit, trying a new grain, trying a new sauce or a new spice. I love za'atar. I love like different, there's so many different curry spices that you can get that are already pre-made. So it's just about, adding a little variety and trying things out. And it doesn't always have to be necessarily a new vegan item that's processed or anything like that. It can be as simple as trying a new bean or trying a new recipe. But don't get me wrong, I do love to try new vegan foods. So I do love and support our vegan community and the vegan products that are on the market. So it is fun.
Totally. And just to comment on farro for a moment, which is one of my favorites. What I like too, it reminds me what you were saying earlier. We want to feel satiated. We want to feel full. So like even your raw vegan dishes or your uncooked dishes, you were saying earlier, you want them to be filling and satiating. And I often found that with farro when I had it in the past, like it would really fill me up. Like there was just no lack of anything. It was just an abundance, really.
Yes, it's definitely a very hearty grain that adds that, and it it's just great. I love it.
Yeah,
Just love it.
yeah.
Makes me feel
Awesome.
full and happy, and you're getting all the fiber and you know
Totally,
where it's
totally.
at.
And it's very versatile as well. I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So tell us please about your Facebook group.
Yes. So I have a Facebook group called the Veg Inspired Foodies. It's a really supportive community, very active. The members are very active. And the goal of it is to create a safe place for people who want to eat more plants, find the resources, support, and inspiration that they need. So I'm very active in it. I teach a weekly live show on topics that are submitted from the group that happens every Tuesdays at noon Eastern. Replays are available. And it really is about, finding support among other people. So we have people that are brand new newbies that are just starting out. We have people that are aspiring to plant-based eating. They might still eat some animal products. And then we have our longtime seasoned vegans and plant-based eaters that are, they're in the comments giving you tips and ideas and sharing recipes and strategies. And I just love the community that we're building there. So if anybody is interested in that, we can put the link or I can comment below the video later. But it's the Veg Inspired Foodies, and it is linked in my bio too.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, tell us please about your coaching services.
Yes. So I offer it's called Successfully Plant Based, and it's a group coaching program. And it is extremely high touch. It is all about taking you where you currently are in your plant based journey to that way of life that you aspire to have. So it really is about mindset, emotional eating, recipe organization, day to day habits, more so than eat this, eat that. It's not a prescriptive diet plan. It's about accountability and support and really, paving your path to plant based so that it's not this overwhelming, frustrating, point where you're overthinking dinner, right? We want it to be as natural as making dinner was before you ate plants.
Wow. And so it's a group-based coaching service. How often do you all meet? And also if a person said, "Hey, I don't want to be in a group, I want like one-on-one," how is that handled?
Yes. So the group coaching program is we meet as a group once a week. And then there's also multiple touch points throughout the week. I offer open office hours. And then every client receives a one-on-one coaching appointment each month as well. And then I know the list goes on. And then each month we do a menu planning co-session. So you can pop into my co-planning session and I actually walk you through how to meal plan and we meal plan together. So when you leave, you have your meal plan based on your calendar, not some cookie cutter meal plan that everybody else is using. So it really is very high touch and very customized, even though it's the trainings and coaching sessions are offered as a group. So it's really awesome. If people are interested in learning more, definitely send me a message. It requires an application and a consultation appointment to get more information about it as well.
That is awesome. And I love how, in the group, other people can kind of chime in and say, hey, well, I tried this, or hey, there's such and such, I don't know, such and such an ingredient that I just tried. And here's what happened when I prepared it and things like that. So you have that whole social dynamic, which I think is super important, especially in these times of this global situation. It's just super important, I think, to like have that, safe space and that network.
Yes, and what I'm loving is watching the group members interact. They're sharing recipes, they're sharing ideas, they're cheering each other on. I mean, it's so incredible to watch the dynamics really unfold as new members join and seasoned members, kind of share their experiences. It's really exciting.
I love it. I love it. I just want to say hi to everybody who is here with us today. Please put your questions and comments down below for Kathy, and she'll be happy to answer. And while we wait, I don't think I missed anybody. No, just a wave. Hello. While we wait, tell us please if you have any future projects or services that you are thinking of launching that you want to share at this time.
Sure. So every couple of months, I host my Eat More Plants workshop, and it's a free 5-day workshop and it's delivered live. So you always have access to me, and we walk through how to gain clarity on your plant-based eating goal, how to organize recipes, how to get the mindset around this lifestyle change. And I offer that each month, not every month, but every few months. So if you're interested in that, definitely send me a message and I can get you on the wait list. And, I loved writing these cookbooks. So don't be surprised if a third one doesn't, magically appear. I would not turn it down. So I had so much fun doing it. I can see future books in my future. So I would love that. Let's see other things. And then from a personal standpoint, my husband and I are hitting the national parks from Sedona through Utah all the way up to Glacier National Park. So we will be yeah.
Okay, for anyone who doesn't know where Glacier National Park is, please tell us.
Okay, so it is all the way up in the very northern section of Montana. And we booked our campground there a year ago just to be sure that we got a spot.
It's that much in demand.
It's that much in demand, and there's only a few parks that are really close to the entrance. And so, and we have a 35-foot fifth wheel. So for us, it was really about making sure that we had a space that we could park. And so, we'll be there at the end of July. So we're really excited. That's our goal, is to visit all the national parks. So, as we're traveling, we're just stamping them in our passport and exploring the country. It's amazing.
This whole global situation has really inspired a lot of domestic tourism and kind of like exploring your own backyard, quote unquote. And it's just been actually very heartwarming to see that since last year, like people saying, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was in my own state or something like that,
Yes. And so we've been living in our RV for 2.5 years. And the first winter, we wintered in Florida. And one of the things I found, Florida has some really great state parks.
Yeah.
And I was like, we are missing a whole segment. Like, we're going to hit these national parks, and then we're going to have to go back and hit all these state parks because all of these states have beautiful parks. So I encourage everyone, look and see what those state parks are with you in an hour or so drive. There are times, because of the location of parks and internet, right? We work from the RV, that we have to be parked at more of a central location, and we'll drive a couple hours to get to a park and then drive through and do a day hike and have lunch. So pack your lunches. There's one of our favorite meals to take is a TLAT. and we make our own tempeh bacon. And we make our own tempeh bacon because we've been in places where we couldn't buy the Light Life tempeh bacon, which is my favorite. So we make our own. And then we just load it on a sandwich with a tofu mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomatoes, and we wrap it up and put it in the cooler. And then we can eat that overlooking a beautiful scenery at the park. And so I always tell
That is
people, like,
yummy.
look up those places. Get outside, get your families outside. Yes, you might have to wear a mask in some of these locations, but just get outside and just do it and just enjoy the scenery because it is incredible.
You know, I applaud you all for doing that. Honestly, I've only seen a little bit in your stories, but I just applaud you all for doing that. And I love your idea. Your sandwich sounds yummy, and I love your idea because then you're sure of what you're eating, the quality. You're still getting, super healthy plant foods. And you're still supporting, vegan businesses. So it's not like, you're not supporting them, but we all have to eat, at some point. So I really love that. Now, please tell everybody where we can get your cookbooks.
Okay, so the 30-minute whole food plant-based cookbook, which is this one, is currently available as an ebook or a print book on Amazon. And then this one, the super easy plant-based cookbook, is available for pre-order on Amazon. It actually officially launches on May 25th. But the ebook will be coming out this week. So if you're more of an ebook, you like your Kindle in the kitchen, you will have access to that Kindle version this week. So stay tuned for that announcement as well.
Yeah, and I love the idea of the ebooks because first of all, it's more portable. You don't have to lug around the book if you're traveling or whatever. You could even be in a different country and you're like, oh, I don't have that physical book. There's no need to have the physical book. In other words, like if you're, I don't know, renting an Airbnb or a villa or an apartment or whatever, or you're at a friend's house, you can just whip it up and look at the recipes wherever you are.
Or if you're grocery shopping and you're like, darn, I don't have the recipe, you can just access it in your ebooks, right?
Good one.
It really does yield. And then I can't tell you how many times I'll be at the store and be like, oh, I didn't write down the enchilada sauce. And I just open the ebook and I'm like, oh, I just need this and this. So it makes those, especially those, if you make changes to your meal plan or anything like that, it allows you easy access. So, but either one's great. I have print copies because they send them to me, the publisher, but we use a lot of ebooks as well, just because it's not reasonable to think that we're going to travel with all these heavy cookbooks. So,
and you actually just gave like an awesome reason to have a digital copy, an ebook, because like you said, your cook, if you only relied on the physical copy, and like you say, you're out and about, you're like, oh, you know what, I should stop off at the supermarket and get a few items for dinner or for breakfast or whatever. And the next morning, and you're like, but I don't have that book. Like you say, there's no reason to rely on a physical copy all the time if you can have the digital copies. I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
That is cool. And so just to kind of summarize again, then, so you have your 2 cookbooks. You have the Facebook group, which is interactive as well.
Yes.
Do people, is it a private Facebook group, or do you have to kind of like apply to get in, and how does that work?
Yeah, so it's a private Facebook group. There are entry questions that we ask you, and the reason for that is creating that safe space, right? We really make sure that the people coming into the group are supportive, right? Like, we've all been in Facebook groups where there's a lot of policing and a lot of perfectionism. And my philosophy is intentional progress. So I really want to create this support group where people are making intentional progress toward their plant-based eating goal.
Yeah, and I love that your group, both your group and your coaching services and offerings and programs are a mix of people who are anywhere on their journey. It's not like you're saying, you need to have made that decision to be 100% plant-based vegan before you step into the door. No, you're saying, no, 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 wherever you are, we're gonna walk with you on this journey. And I love that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's all stemmed from what I felt I needed way back in the beginning, right? I would have loved to have somebody that I could just bounce ideas off of. And we didn't even talk about, so I've been vegan for 7 years, but a year and a half ago, I tweaked that vegan diet. Again, remember, we're traveling the United States. We're encountering new vegan restaurants at every turn. And that eating out caught up to me. And I found myself in a position where I was over a weight I wanted to be, highest weight I'd
Yes.
ever been. And I
Yes.
was like, something's got to change. And so I
Yes.
tweaked my vegan diet to a more whole food, plant-based way of eating, significantly reducing oil. That was really the big thing I cut out. And so,
Wow.
it allows me to make intentional progress, right? That means I grabbed some tamales at the little tamale place, vegan tamales, which were amazing at the little tamale place in Sedona, but it's not
Ooh.
an every night, every day, every
Yeah.
city kind of thing. And it really allows me to have this balance between whole food plant-based eating daily habits, right? It's about setting up these daily habits that I come back to if I choose to eat unaligned to my goals. And really that's my philosophy. And I would have loved to have somebody that would have been like, Kathy, is that aligned with your goal?
Ooh.
Like I'd love to have had somebody that's, calling me out. Is eating that, buying that big packet of vegan cheese and smothering everything with vegan cheese aligned to your goal? If somebody had been like asking me that all the time, I might have made, my progress was pretty fast, but I might have made it faster. It might have been easier. I might have had more accountability in the process. So that's really what I designed my programs and just my content around, is being that person that says, is this helping you to get to your goal? Is this what you want, or is this an old habit coming back?
I love that. Oh man, mindset and having your why. I love that. So, Kathy,
Yes.
I first of all want to ask you then, what are the best ways or way for people to contact you for more information, collaboration, etc.?
Yes, definitely Instagram Messenger or Facebook Messenger if you have that. But Instagram Messenger is, since we're on Instagram, that's the best way to reach out to me. Mention that you watched this video. I do have lots of resources that I can send, and I'm happy to share recipes. If you're interested in a recipe that I mentioned out of the cookbook, I'm happy to send that over, kind of give you an idea of what cookbook is. I'm very open-ended. I'm very transparent. I want to make sure that you enjoy the recipes, enjoy the content that I provide. So, definitely reach out via Messenger, via DM, comment on my recent post. I always tell people, turn on those notifications so that you know exactly what's going on. If you're interested in the Eat More Plants workshop that's coming up, hit that post notification so that you get notified when I make a post, and then you'll know, oh, the Eat More Plants, I need to register for that. But if you do want to get on the wait list, you can send me a message as well.
Awesome. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks to everybody who joined, either live or on the replay. Kathy is open for dialogue, questions, and comments and conversation, even after this conversation, as she said. So please, keep the conversation going with Kathy. And so, Kathy, I do want to thank you so much for taking the time today to join us. And I just want to ask you if you have any final thoughts for everyone today. Just kind of wrap this all up and put a bow on it, please.
Honestly, I think just take those next steps. If your goal is to become an ethical vegan, or to make that decision to go vegan, or you really just want to eat more plants for your health or for the environment, just take the next step. Do whatever it is that next step is. And honestly, if your goal is bigger than that or more personal than that, maybe you are, wanting to write a book, or wanting to write a cookbook, or wanting to buy a new house or get a new job, or get a job in animal activism or vegan activism or whatever it is, take that next step. That really is, my heart telling you this. If this is, you're listening and this is, you just needed that sign, this is the sign. Like, I'm telling you, it's awesome on the other side as you start to make those steps towards your goal. So whether it's plant-based eating or cookbook writing or living in an RV and traveling the country when people think you're crazy, just take the next step because it's awesome.
Oh man, I love that. Thank you so much for just wrapping this up on such a high note, Kathy. And again, thank you for this conversation. I've learned a lot. I'm going to save this on IGTV, my stories and my feed, and then I will message you afterwards.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who watched and tuned in. Comment below. Let's connect. I'm so excited to, share this space with you and just be in on the vegan journey with you. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks everybody, and take good care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.